watching Beneath the Surface Conversation.
Hello, everyone. This is MP. We are tuned in to Beneath the Surface Conversations, where we go and dive in way beneath the surface, way beneath the narrative on concepts. I don't edit. This is all freestyle. If you like this type of content, please take a second to like and subscribe so we can keep coming with more. Today, this is going to be a very long conversation. We're going to be talking about being black in the workplace and the challenges that it may present, obstacles it may present, nuances that may be created, and just things that we should be aware of if we want to survive being black in the workplace, because that is a thing. I want to start by saying I personally, I was in sales management for about 12 years with a major telecommunications company. If I'm going to be honest, that's damn near how I am sitting here with you guys today. I do and will say that that grew me in ways I can't control, right? Like being able to surround myself and be around a lot of different, I guess, types of people, types of environments, and being able to, again, adapt to those. There was growth. There was growth in that. Obviously, I'm going to be dealing with all of the same hurdles that anyone being black in the workplace is going to be dealing with. And be doing it for 12 years, you just observe consistencies, that can't go unnoticed. And then you learn how to survive. It's almost like being in the jungle. You know, if you ever watch Tarzan or these movies where these guys are thrown in the wilderness, like you either going to adapt or not, you know. And fortunately, all glory to the highest, I was able to survive. And I'll get into that shortly. I want to pause that and say, which I'll touch this in the end of the video, but the premise is you don't have any friends, bruh. We don't have any allies. We don't have any associates in these environments. That is a bold point. Like, please, if you're listening to this and you're trying to educate yourself on anything or survive these jobs, understand, and I don't mean to say it like, you know, people say it like, oh, they're my friend. No, very seriously, strategically, we don't have any allies in these environments outside of people that look like us. And I'm not saying that in any controversial way, man. And I'll break it down later in the video. But, you know, I did that for 12 years. After I got out of that, I got into real estate, which that's, again, another environment where you're dealing with people that don't necessarily look like you. And you have to know how to carry yourself, how to communicate, all of the above, man. How to work twice as hard, basically, in these all-white environments. If you want, you know, and it's not easy. You got to know how to play the game. Is where it's at. Can we teach you can I teach you to play the game? No, it's not in everyone. It's not in everyone. Unfortunately, it's not in everyone because we are systematically fucked up. So sometimes our roots, like how we were raised, what we were around, what we've seen, our surroundings, are embedded in us, unfortunately. And sometimes we can't get out of our own way. And that is what it is, with all due respect, right? Like, we can't control if our moms never worked and we've only been around that and we are trying to now just get a job and survive, when we were told, hey, just go to work and show up. And then when you get to work, you realize it's a lot more than that. You know what I mean? It's hard to really blame someone or hold someone accountable for something that's really, in essence, out of their control. And it's frustrating. So I decided before I started this video to just pull up a couple videos online to see kind of what people were talking about. And it's disturbing, to be honest. I think, and before I get into it, the part to me that's the most disturbing is that all of these things that I'm going to discuss, that they were discussing, that people know, it's disturbing that this is all stuff that's obvious, that people are aware of. One of the biggest things is that we got to work twice as hard to get half as far. I mean, how frustrating does that even sound, right? And again, I want to make sure you guys very clearly, when I say everything I'm talking about right now, I experienced as a black man in white America. I experienced trying to dodge and navigate through these environments. Sometimes you're blessed and lucky to get a good white supervisor or a good diverse environment, or a good fair environment, or just a good holy Christian person that's just not really egotistical and more so just about getting the job done. You know what I mean? Sometimes you are blessed in those environments, but again, you still can't be a no nigga shit. You still got to come in and still show up. So because the white man ain't gonna just let you be no nigga, like you still got to come in and show up like you're supposed to. It's just sometimes you get that boss that's like, I don't give a fuck how good you are, I don't like you, right? And those are the environments you just gotta you can't win in those environments. And then sometimes you get environments that the boss that fucks with you heavy, but your root caused you to wake up late, not prioritize stuff, not dress accordingly, not stay sharp and clean cut, not know how to communicate or use your words real, not able to express yourself, right? Things like that. And then we almost bury ourselves. And again, we can't control what we can't control. We can't control who we are. So it just becomes an unfortunate reality. But these environments, again, the game can't be really taught. They can be instructed. You can try to give advice. But again, it's based on the person's root, man. It's based on what you know or who you are. That's just what it is. It's based on the type of black person you are and were around and came across, what you were in front of and what you were exposed to. Honestly, that's all human shit, though. To be honest, like all human shit is based on what we've dealt with. And I only can speak on being a black man in the work environment. I can make a whole other podcast conversation on my black women. And I would love for my black women, my followers, to chime in on some of this, man, and put a little bit of feedback in so we can roll a conversation out on that, because it really matters, man. I can only imagine what it's like to be a black woman in these environments. Not only do you have to deal with the same challenges, same inequities that black men deal with, but as a woman, you probably get sexual advances and all these things that just are not related to your workability. And that has to be frustrating. It has to be fucking disturbing to feel like your job is at a risk or threatened because you won't let Tom, or when Tom makes a comment about your butt and you respond negatively, your hours are shortened. Or when Susie wants to comment on your hairstyle today and you get offended, now all of a sudden there's some attitude that you have. That's unfortunate. That's wrong. That's where the definition of diversity, equity, inclusion really, you just want to create an environment where people feel equal. And when you're talking about my hair or making me feel less than because of my hair, which I can't control, I don't feel equal. So as far as all this DEI talk, that's what that's about. It's not about really you got hired because you're black or Asian or some shit. It's about let's just create an environment where we understand that people don't look alike. People aren't the same. And there will be diversity. We do want to feel equal. We do want to feel included in these things. They have something called the Crown Act. The Crown Act has to do with allowing your hair. It's a crown, and it has to do with basically allowing your hair to grow out of your scalp the way it does naturally, right? Why does that even have to be a law or a rule? We ask, right? Sadly, what's crazy is we question these laws or rules as if they're made up. Affirmative action was 1965 or 1968. That's years ago, where someone, President, I think they said Johnson, wanted to ensure that black people felt like they were being equally offered jobs and shit. Like, it's crazy. Like, this shit is not made up. It's not an accident. This isn't happening like on some fluke. Oh, Marlon's tripping, or Tom is tripping, or Tyrone is tripping. No, Tyrone is being discriminated against. This was actually happening. And the sickest part is everybody knows it. We just keep a blind eye to it. We keep a hush about it. We have, Karen or Kevin is happy to get those hours, knowing that Tyrone was the one who did that. Anyway, excuse me. So the Crown Act is the create a respectful and open world for natural hair law. Crown. Create a respectful and open world for natural hair. Damn. We have to come up with a whole ass acronym for this. We have to come up with a whole ass act, a law, a policy that we had to create because black people's hair was a thing. It's a lot, you guys. It's a whole ass lot. Mind you, there's an assumption that black people are, there's an assumption going in. When you get hired, when they see your black skin, excuse me, there's an assumption that you were lazy, don't work hard, want to take shortcuts, can't articulate, not a team player. All these things that they are, if I'm being honest with you. All these things that they are. But because we are heirs of gods and goddesses, because we are naturally kings and queens in this game, and everyone knows it, we overcome. And overcome we do. It's unique when you're in a work environment that's white-based and you survive these moments. And they come to you and say, "Hey, Tom, hey Chris, you did a good job, man. You were able to articulate that really well. You're such a team player." And it's almost like, well, I mean, did you think I wasn't gonna be? Right? Like, was I not supposed to be? Like, were you surprised that I can use my words or talk? Right? Like, it's almost disrespectful. What's crazy for black people is we check all the boxes. The highest boxes to the lowest boxes. And they always will seek ways to try and A, belittle those accomplishments, but B, find the smallest reason to call you inadequate. You might have been late for a meeting. You might have misspoke in an email. You might have maybe made a mistake. You might have made a mistake, man. Which I think humans do, which humans do. So, it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, to be held accountable for every single action you make and take. Meanwhile, your colleagues aren't held to that same standard. I need you guys to really understand, we live in a mediocre society. They try to assume that, like, people of color or some diversity hire or some, oh, he's given a chance. I want you to really realize, and this part's fucking important. The black pilot you see, the black doctor you see, the black lawyer, the black supervisor, the black manager, the black lead, the black firefighter, the black security guard, the black officer, the black chemist, the black business owner, the black secretary of state, the black vice president. Shouts out to Miss Kamala. I want you to know that they are 10 times better than your white colleague. I'll repeat that. The black supervisor, the black lawyer, the black pilot, the black dentist, black governor, black vice president, the black president, shouts to Obama. They are 10 times better than your white colleague. The reason why is because they are held to a standard that is beyond them. We are held to a standard that's almost mistake proof. And I salute us for being able to survive in these environments. I think it's unfortunate, really, that America tries to play this card of black people being inadequate in a way, when we all know what's real. When we all know what's real. Now, forgive me. There are some bad eggs in every race. That's why it's crazy. There's but what's happened is they create a narrative of an umbrella that this is how the black worker is, the black man or woman is. So then when they go into these environments, this is how they almost are already assumed to be until proven otherwise. Beneath the surface conversations where you're at. We go beneath the surface. We're not talking about the narrative. We're going way beyond the narrative. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Again, we don't edit. We don't know how to edit. We just freestyle this stuff off the top of the dome because we say what's real. No point in editing. You know what I'm saying? But, these environments, America is mediocre. And your black colleague is very much not. Had to pass the tests, had to prove themselves, is there for an actual reason, probably knows what the fuck they're doing in a very sharp way that you'll maybe never understand. Chris, you're able to integrate with the team so well. I mean, what does that even mean? Of course I'm able to integrate with the team. What did you expect? What did you expect? And to have an expectation, honestly, is racist, really, right? Like, to just assume I'm just not going to be able to integrate with the team, just assume I'm just going to not be able to communicate, just assume I'm going to not be able to team player is frustrating. So let me go ahead and dive into the idea of how we don't have any allies here. And this is some snake shit, if I've ever seen it. This is important. When we go into these environments, understand we do not have allies. So, as I just mentioned, you have to get there to be the astronaut environment, to be the supervisor's environment, the supervisor table, to be, even if you're just a regular employee, you have to have gotten there. What happens is, though, outside of your supervisor, who, our manager, whoever hired you, they brought you in, so they kind of can understand how you articulate, and they've interviewed you, so they get, okay, this person's sharp enough to make it here. When you get in, though, you still got to deal with the politics of these fucking environments, these mediocre people, really. These people who actually can't be team players. These people who actually don't know how to multitask or communicate. These people who actually aren't understanding. And you got to get thrown in these environments, and then you got to be the bigger person. You got to be the one that's not argumentative. You got to be able to take a joke. If they say something about your hair, you can't get. If you get offended, you're sensitive. You got to be that. So your supervisor interviewed you. They understand. So they understand the type of person you are. So when you get around your colleagues, though, avoid letting these people in, man. Avoid being friends. Avoid going on lunch dates with these folks. Avoid getting personal, because what they're trying to do, and again, this is not fact. We're going beneath the surface with MP, and what we're doing is talking about what we've observed, talking about some of the consistencies. And what they're trying to do is, in my opinion, of course, my very experienced opinion, they're trying to navigate you, trying to penetrate you, they're trying to figure you out. How you so great? Because they see greatness. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Save that seat for me. They want to know. Hey, John, what's up, man? You know here? Yeah, you cool. Hey, what's up? You like the Bulls too? I do. You like cars too? I do. You like, you eat pizza? I do. All right. You watch Judge Judy? I do. With that being said, what happens is after they've penetrated you, learned your nuances, learn that, you have your son every 2 weeks and your son's dad picks him up, or your son's mom picks him up, or, you borrow your aunt's car, or, hey, you're sleeping on your mom's couch for a while, but you're trying to get to her, or you had to borrow your, this side of the other shoes, or you really didn't have whatever you had on the application, and you might have lied on the application or whatever. Once they get you comfortable, watch how they turn on you like a snake, bro, because they want your spot. Watch how they turn on you like a snake. And what happens is, the reason why it's so shady is they dry snitch it. We know what dry snitching is. For my people listening to this, I don't got to explain what a dry snitch is. They dry snitch on your ass. You don't even be at work. Somebody be like, ooh, it smells like weed in here. You're not even there. You're not even there. Like, ooh, it smells like weed in here. And this is one of your people, one of your friends that you might have hung out with outside of work. Ooh, it smells like weed in here. And your friend will be like, ooh, I bet if Chris was here, he'd like that smell. And that's a dry snitch joke. Because now your supervisor, or whoever's hearing it, is going to be like, why the fuck would Chris like that smell? And it just opens up an avenue for bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Or, there's just so many examples. So, the best way to go about this, and again, it's chess. It's very much chess, not checkers. You very much have to know how to communicate. You can't be a stale fly on the wall either. So, there's a very much in between. There's a very much balance to it all. You have to go in these environments and be neutral if you can, and be cordial if you can. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Good? That's what's up. How was my weekend? It was nice. I had a good time. Thank you for asking. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my desk and get busy. Avoid the politics, man. You can't win the politics. The politics are not in your favor. Avoid feeling like, oh, I'm right. I want to fight for the... No. Avoid it. None of this shit is in your favor. None of these politics, these rules are backwards and bent. These people are sleeping in the same bed. These people are communicating on the back end as far as who, what, when, where, and why. And you'll never know. You just show up one day and your name's on some report and you're wondering how it got there. And that's because you and your homegirl or homeboy, who you thought was cool with you, some information that got exposed. The thing is, some information that may have got exposed that may not have, should have been exposed. And the problem for black people is they'll take the smallest crumb and turn that into something. Well, again, being late, not dressing right, missing out on the email, misspeaking, making a mistake. And because you were not perfect, you're not the perfect black candidate, it'll just give them a reason to diffuse you. Unfortunately. We have to overcome in these environments favoritism, racism, colorism. Meanwhile, still knowing all these things are happening and still trying to keep a sane way of thinking, way of coming across things. I think that the DEI talk, the affirmative action conversation, these things are things that were implemented for a reason, of course, because this is all real. I've experienced this, so I'm able to speak on it. But the fact that they're making laws in 1968, the fact that they're making laws and coming up with privacy acts and things like that, and standards for these corporations to be held, to abide by, I think that alone is real. The fact that in these mediocre societies, your white counterparts can look at you and see you getting promotions and know you're doing great, and know all of the things you probably are experiencing outside of your job. Know all the things you experienced growing up. Know all the shortcomings that they've heard black people go through, and you still are able to survive. They know they have to know how strong you are, which is intimidating for them. You have to know that. They are intimidated by your greatness. You have to know that. They are intimidated by your greatness. Never stop being great, though. Never stop being great. Again, this is Beneath the Surface Conversations with MP. We plan on doing a lot of this talk. We keeping it 100. We're coming from a lot of different angles. We're going beneath the surface, man. There's a narrative. There's a narrative that exists. And we down here with it, talking about it down here. We can easily be like, oh, everybody's fair and everybody's equal and you're just... sounds good, bruh. Sounds real good. But it's really important we stay in our own lane. It's really important we stay in our own lane. It's really important we show up. It's really important we hold ourselves accountable. That's big, bruh. Oh, I was just late, boss. Oh, man, nah, I forgot my work shirt, boss. Oh, the report, I'll get to it. No, guys, that I wouldn't have made it 12 years if I was on that type of vibe, on that type of time. We have to hold ourselves accountable. Please go hold yourself accountable, guys, ladies and gentlemen. That's important. As long as you are on the right side of righteousness every time, God got you. But don't try to cheat. If you're gonna take anything out of this, don't try to cheat. Just stay righteous, and the rest will line itself up. But when you try to cheat, though, they'll find a reason to get your ass. They'll find a reason to get your ass. And I want to close by saying, take these practices, take what you gain from your job, take what you learn from your job, take the competencies that you gain from your experiences, and start your own shit. Start your own business. We are great people. We do great things. We are courageous. We are strong. We have overcame things that are beyond us. Take these things that you've gained from these jobs and start your own shit. Be your own boss. Work for yourself is the idea. If you aspire to do that. Beneath the Surface Conversations, being black in the workplace is a thing. I love you guys. Like and subscribe. We plan to come with this stuff real heavy. And I hope that you guys stay tuned as you guys are a part of it. Any comments, please add to the section. We can definitely talk about it. And we all we got.